Okay, fab. And I'm going to hand over to Andy. Thank you.
Thank you, Yasmin. Morning, everyone. Yeah, morning, everyone. My name is Andy Medler. I'm the Senior Account Manager for MoneyCorp from the Corporate Partnership team. Going to run through today some help for businesses with international interests during the global shutdown. So I'm just going to share my screen with you. Hopefully everyone can see my screen. Yaz, if you can give me a thumbs up, that'd be great. Brilliant. Thank you very much. Yes, so as I just explained, that is me. So there you go. So for anyone who's on the call today who doesn't know who MoneyCorp are, we are the official foreign exchange provider for the British Chamber of Commerce. As Yasmin said, we are also known as Chamber Foreign Exchange. So in your membership packs, when you see Chamber Foreign Exchange information, that does actually make reference to MoneyCorp. We've been established since 1979, so one of the UK's oldest and longest established non-bank FX providers. We've got over 14,000 corporate clients. We traded over 35 billion of currency last year.
Sorry, Andy. Sorry to interrupt. I've just got a few notes in the chat box that they can't hear you very well. If you could just, should be fine.
Can everyone hear me now? Is that a bit better?
Just check the chat box. Bear with. Yes, that's much better.
Is that clearer? Yeah?
That's great. Yes, I'll go back onto mute. Thank you.
So for anyone who didn't hear that, so yeah, we've been around since 1979. We're one of the oldest and established non-bank FX providers in the UK marketplace, with over 14,000 traded corporate clients last year, trading over 35 billion pounds worth of currency throughout last year, and just shy of 6 million client transactions. All funds are held in client segregated bank accounts, which means your funds are protected. And we are the preferred partner, as we said, for the British Chamber of Commerce, the ICAEW. We partner with the Department of International Trade, the Telegraph, City AM, Everton Football Club, and lots of other large organisations across the UK. We are a UK-based company, but we also have global offices. So our head office is in London. We have 3 other regional offices across the UK in Leeds, Edinburgh, and Coventry, and then obviously offices across the world as well. The fundamentals of MoneyCorp is for saving companies money on the cost of their foreign exchange and payments, giving expert guidance on hedging and risk strategy, and ongoing support from a dedicated account manager. So as we are all aware, we're obviously going through an extreme global pandemic as a result of COVID-19. This has had a huge effect, on the FX markets, obviously on individuals, on the way companies trade. It's something that no one saw coming, certainly to the degree that we're experiencing. And there are some major points which has affected everyone. No certainty as to how the virus spread or even where it will end. There are newer cases still appearing on a daily basis. There are worries about the length of the lockdown and how much of the output loss can be recovered. Some of the estimates, the economy is already operating at some ways now above 30% down. We've seen sharp falls in share prices across the globe. The FTSE's dropped incredibly. Huge fiscal and monetary stimulus packages across the world. We've seen what the UK has done in terms of supporting businesses, and this is being replicated across the globe. Sharp revisions on growth forecasts, not only for this year and moving ahead. We've seen CDS currency default swaps and corporate bonds spreads have gone up, and obviously the worries about developing countries having access to dollar swap lines. I know this is maybe a lot of information people don't know or what they maybe mean, but it's having a huge impact on the global economy. The next 3 slides are some very good visual aids for businesses to kind of see the true impact of what COVID has had on the foreign exchange market. So the first slide we see here is sterling against dollar. We've then got sterling against euro, and we've got euro against dollar. On the left-hand side chart, we've got the market movements over the last 12 months. On the right-hand chart, we've got the movement over the last 4 weeks. So over the last 12 months, we have seen sterling dollar move by 15.2%. But over the last 4 weeks, we've seen a movement of 12.5%. So that really does show the value and the volatility that's kind of come into the market as a result of COVID. Sterling euro, same basis. Over the last 12 months, we've seen a movement of 12.6%. Yet over the last 4 weeks, we've seen a movement of 8.5%. And euro dollar, over the last 12 months, we have seen a 7.5% move, and over the last 4 weeks, a movement. So as you can see from those last 3 charts, the volatility has just been massive as a result of the global impact of COVID. The true cost to a business, it's all well and good people looking at slides and seeing graphs going up and down, but what is the true cost to a business of the COVID impact? For a business who imports 500,000 of goods over the last 4 weeks, if we look at sterling dollar, we've seen a high of $1.3066 and a market low of $1.1435. That's a cost increase in 4 weeks of £54,500. Huge numbers, which of course a lot of businesses just did not see this, coming as a result of the effect that COVID was going to have. And on the same basis of euros, 500,000 euros, market high of 115.05 against the market low of 105.33. That's an increase of £40,000. Like I say, it's this huge volatility, and the impact of that as a business is, potentially devastating. Through moneycorp, there are different ways of buying currency. So I'm going to break down maybe some of the barriers that businesses experience around currency and kind of hopefully show the different risks involved and how we can help alleviate, over the next kind of weeks and months ahead for any businesses that have concerns where you are trading internationally. And hopefully you'll see that it's maybe not as scary as what a lot of people think. So the main ways of buying currency are what we call a spot, a forward contract, market order, and options. I'm not going to touch on options today. The reason for that is options are what we would call a regulated product, and they are a very complicated way of dealing with it, and we have to have a separate regulated team to explain options. But for any clients who do trade options, just be aware that if it's something that you do want to discuss, moneycorp can help with options, or also commonly known as derivatives. So what is a spot contract? So let's use the example we have seen previously, where a business imports $500,000 of goods over the last 4 weeks. We've seen a high of $1.3666, and we've seen market lows of $1.1435. A spot contract means you trade at the rate on the day. So if the dollar is $1.20 or $1.70, that is the level you trade at. This gives you zero protection against market movements. Sometimes you win, other times you will lose on the market. The question that has to be asked is, can you afford to risk losing money on orders or contracts by gambling on the live market rates? So what is a forward contract? Very simply, it's a way of locking in the rate today until a date in the future, so you know exactly what your costs will be to the business. A simple comparison to a forward contract would be a fixed rate mortgage. As consumers, we want to fix our mortgage costs against an interest rate rise. So why would, as a business, do we not want to look to do the same thing for sales or purchases? Here we've got a working example of what a forward contract. So again, if we look at the scenario of the last 4 weeks, where we've seen, the dollar high of 130.66 and a low of 114.35. If a business had fixed their rates 4 weeks ago at a rate of $1.3066, no money would have been lost as a result of market movements over the same period of time. A forward contracts are about ensuring you do not lose money on your agreed prices with your customers and or your suppliers. As a business, when you place an order, so if you placed an order today, hypothetically for £50,000 return, your margin is based on agreeing the price with your clients, not on where foreign exchange markets might be to gain extra income back to the business. I say the most important thing for foreign exchange for any business is making sure you don't lose money. From a moneycorp perspective, we can help businesses lock in forward contracts for up to 36 months. I think that's a vital thing to kind of put in there. A lot of banks will only go 9 to 12 months forward on forward contracts. I was working with a client last week who's just won a 24-month contract over in Indonesia. So the fact that they're able to come to us and we can lock in those rates shows the value that we can bring over and above their current banking lines. The whole thing with moneycorp is it's about working alongside your banks. We're not here to replace your banks. What is a market order? A market order is a simple way of targeting a specific rate in the currency markets. So for example, today's rate for sterling euro is 114. As a business, you know you need to make a payment by the end of April for 45,000 euros. You can place an order in the market, let's say at 115. If the market hits 115 between now and the end of April, we will execute the deal for you. If the market does not hit €1.15, you simply will trade at spot. And this comes back to what we were saying previously. With a spot market, you are subject to wherever the live rates will be. So although you might be wanting to achieve 115, you put the order in at 114, the market's now at 112.50, you would trade at 112.50. A stop loss or a lower level can also be entered into the market. So let's say 110. If the market drops down to 108, you would purchase at 110 as the market falls away. The big benefit to any business with a market order is we put the orders what we call live in the market, and we watch the markets 24 hours a day. So sometimes with a market order, you'll get a spike at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, and that's when your order may well hit. You come back into the office at 8:30, 9 o'clock the following morning, you've checked the actual rate, and the rate might be lower than where you were the previous day, but due to the spike in the market overnight, your order's actually been executed and you've been able to benefit from that spike in the market. So it's quite a good little product to use if you're wanting to target a specific rate. The mechanics of a client trading with moneycorp. So typically corporates have one banking partner. So as a business, you would bank with, let's say, HSBC, Lloyds. We use the example here of Barclays. Barclays are one of our banking partners that we use. The mechanics of trading with moneycorp is we have 17 liquidity providers we work with. So you can see on the screen there, we've got 8 of the providers that we work with. So we have 17 in total. What that means to you as a business, it's like having 17 different banks on your side looking for the best rates. So when you come through to moneycorp, we're able to go to the market, get the best rate from Nomura or RBS, whoever it may be, and we can pass that rate on to you as the client. Final thoughts. We are living through a very, very uncertain time. The current global pandemic is having a major impact on the global economy. There are hedging solutions available to protect your bottom line. And obviously, yes, we've seen huge volatility over the last 4 weeks. As we come out of the lockdown period, and whatever that might look like, obviously businesses will look to return to normal. Cash flow is going to be even more important for businesses. And that's where these hedging solutions can really help a business protect what sterling is available to the business. So actually, I think hedging may be even more apparent as we move forward to ensure that businesses retain the right level of cash in the business. Are you paying too much for your FX payments? We can look at this for you. So if you have got concerns, wanted to see if you're on a good deal, we're able to offer free rate comparisons and an FX audit available. What that means is we can work with you as a business. We can look at what you're spending. We can look at how you're managing your foreign exchange, and we can help you look at the right solutions for you as a business. That concludes the presentation. If there's any questions.
Yeah, We do have a couple of questions, Andy. I don't know if you can see those. I'm happy to read them out.
I can see those.
You can see them. Okay.
Right, so let's flick through. Can companies fix exchange on individual orders? That's from Alison. So yes, they can. So in regards to forward contracts, traditionally there seems a lot of, thought process that a company would turn around and say, right, I'm going to fix, let's say, $1 million over the next 12 months. That is obviously very, very risky, because what if that £1 million order doesn't come through, or you've only got $500,000 over the 12 months? A lot of companies do work on an order by order basis. So an order comes in today, let's say for €25,000. They've got payment terms of 30, 60 or 90 days, whatever it might be, or 7 days. You can literally fix it on a order by order, a contract by contract basis. So hopefully that answers that question for Alison. From Richard, what is the cost of taking a forward contract for a business? Thank you for the question, Richard. In regards to the cost of the forward contract, there's a couple of ways forwards work. So the ideal scenario is we look at the credit profile of a business. So let's keep the math simple. If a client was looking for £100,000 worth of currency, worst case, we would do a 5% deposit. So if it's 100,000, it'd be a £5,000 deposit. That would secure the rate on the whole lump sum of the 100,000. Best case rate, it would be deposit free. So the way we look at the whole deposit scenario is we work with our credit team. We obviously look at the accounts of the business, etc., and we can then take an executive decision as a business whether or not we offer a zero deposit. It might be a 3% deposit, it might be a 5% deposit, but that will then lock in the rate for the duration and whatever currency you want. In regard to the actual deposit, that is returned on a pro rata basis as you trade. So if it was 30,000 over 3 months and you did a 10,000 trade every month, you would obviously get £1,000 deposit back of every trade to be a 3% deposit. So that's how that would work. So for an SME manufacturer, so yeah, is it worth an SME entering into a forward contract as opposed to using the bank? Yes. Very, very simply, Richard, again, the huge benefit for a business of using moneycorp over a bank when it comes to forward contract lines is the credit line that you would get through moneycorp doesn't actually affect the credit line that you get from your bank. And what I mean by that is, so for argument's sake, you've used the example here, 4 million turnover of importing and exporting materials. As a business, your bank might turn around and say, your credit line is only worth 5 million in total. As a business, you might need £2 million of that in regards to expanding premises, investing in R&D, etc. That would only leave 3 million for your foreign exchange credit facility, where obviously you would be looking for 4 million. By using moneycorp, our credit lines do not affect the credit facility offered by your bank. So we could actually give you the 4 million credit line in theory, and that would actually give you a 5 million free credit line facility with your bank for doing other things in the business. So I hope that clears that one up. Question from Jonathan. Is our moneycorp only interested in larger FX transactions? What is the minimum size of FX? Thank you for the question, Jonathan. There's no minimum size of foreign exchange interest from moneycorp for clients. I've used obviously the example of some bigger trades to kind of hopefully put some meat on the bones, so to speak. I think our minimum transaction size is £50, to give you an idea. I've done a first trade with a client this morning, £7,000 worth of currency. The amount isn't important to us. It's about ensuring that, as a client, we're helping you save money, saving you, a process, systems as well, because it's all online. It's very, very easy. So full online portal access as well. I think that's important. We still do get some clients who have to, go to the bank to do foreign exchange conversions, where with us you can do it all online. And Alison, does MoneyCorp still work with UK Export Finance? Yes, we do. So that's ticked off the question. Obviously, if there are any other questions, please either contact me directly, or there is also a dedicated Chamber Foreign Exchange email. Alternatively, please contact the Chamber and they will quite happily put you in touch with ourselves.
Okay. I'm just going to give everyone just one more chance to ask a question. If it is easier, then please take yourself off mute and ask it that way, if it's too long to write out.
Jonathan has just raised one question on there that he actually said he used MoneyCorp for £100,000 private FX transaction during February, and he saved over 1% compared to his bank. So that's great news. And Richard's asking, do we have a fact sheet? Yes, we do, which we can send out. Thank you, Richard. You're on mute.
Great. Okay. So I think that concludes the webinar then. I'd like to thank Andy and MoneyCorp for presenting to us today. I hope everyone's found that useful. If anyone does need to be put in touch with Andy, then his details are on the screen, or we can do that as well. I'd just like to mention a couple of other webinars that the Chamber are running this week. So tomorrow, 12 till 1, we have a webinar with Firstfield solicitors on the legal issues affecting business owners. And Thursday, 12 till 1 again, we've got virtual networking. So if you would like to join any of those webinars, please sign up online, or I've just put our email address in the text box there. Please email us and we can sign you up to receive all the latest webinars that the Chamber are running. But I'd just like to say thank you for tuning in. Thank you to Andy and the team for presenting to us today, and I hope everyone has a wonderful week. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye-bye.